Tuesday tips for the DIY musician, number 2 in a series of many. And on this Tuesday, I want to say, if you've got a debut album, stop. Don't release it. Don't just chuck it out there. It's the biggest danger for a debut album is that you release it into space, there's no story, and 2 days later it becomes an old album, and worse still, it's an old album that no one's paid any attention to. And it's very hard to recover from that, especially as you only get one chance to release a debut album. So I'd like you to consider some alternative strategies. One is to think whether the album format is any use to you anyway. Maybe you'd be better off just releasing individual songs. You can always reparcel them later and make it into an album retrospectively. 2, one of the reasons why pledged music is so powerful, and other pre-sale platforms like Kickstarter and crowdfunding platforms, is they allow your audience to actually be part of the story. You start with a germ of an idea, the audience is there with you, you're writing the songs, they're part of the journey, they start ordering all the albums and the product, and then when it's released finally, they've been through the whole process with you and they feel that it's part of them, which it is, of course. It also affects your songwriting as well, because that interaction with your audience all the way through is a very, very powerful thing creatively. It might even spark some ideas for song titles and lyrics. So that connectivity between you and the audience becomes something really real and really tangible. And when you come to actually finally release the record on the release day, it is linked to the chart as well. So you can almost see how you could build a campaign, build the energy, release the record, and that becomes part of a news story. The alternative is just putting the record out into space and nothing happens. And then what a lot of bands do is they panic at that point and they employ a PR company, which is very dangerous because there is no story. So the best PR company in the world can't do anything for you at that point, because the story is you've already finished, the record's already out, it's already been and gone. It's very hard to get press on that because it's not, there's a million bands in that position, you know. So before you start, think of a campaign, think of how are you going to release it, what the journey is going to be after that, and after release you really need to be out there doing a digital tour if you can't afford to go on the road. There's nothing wrong with that. A digital tour or a physical tour or a mixture of the two. If you've created enough vibe, then obviously things like supports and festivals, as we've been talking about on our Sunday series, that all potentiates this campaign, and you might get a real good run off the back of a great album with a great campaign before you have to start thinking about the next one. Or it's a feel thing. You might get the feeling that, you know, the energy's died off this record, we've got to go out and make another one. And sometimes these days records are made quite quickly, every 6 months.